Welcome to another episode of the Grappling Life podcast. Today we are in Sudan, Khartoum. I'm joined by, on my right, Urfat. You guys should know him by now. Zakaria is actually on camera.
Yeah.
Today, mashallah. I'm not sure we've got a new piece of equipment that we brought with us to shoot this specifically for you guys. And Rashid, who, look at his face, by the way, does not want to be on camera. But we managed to convince him that this is not about him, it's about the cause. Yeah. So firstly, I'll start with Urfat. How do you feel the trip went so far, bro?
No, to be honest, I should be asking you the question. I mean, I've been here before.
That was some serious jiu-jitsu you did there.
yeah. So I've been here before. How have you found it? You tell me first.
All right, Khalas. So firstly, I want to thank Charity Right as well for allowing us to have this opportunity. Firstly, thank Allah for actually, like what Sheikh Sajid said, that hopefully we've been chosen by Allah to do this trip. Although it's only been how many days we've been here? It's been, how many
2
days?
days. 2 days now.
2 days, yeah. We landed, yesterday? So today's Saturday. We landed yesterday morning, right?
That's right, yeah.
It feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of barakah in time here.
Yeah.
So already it's had a massive effect on me, honestly, wallahi. Like, just firstly, the Sudanese people. Even though you got a group of, like, basically we look like pirates in the airport, all dressed differently, look different. They didn't even bat an eyelid. They were very, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember Imran was saying in Heathrow Airport, remember we were just getting a bit of, not dirty looks, but just people looking at us weird. But subhanAllah, when we landed in Sudan, it was, and a juxtaposition as well from Dubai, being in super luxury, mashallah. Brother Haris allowed us to use his lounge pass, or forced us to use his lounge pass, which is, mashallah, it was amazing, man. Like, the 7-hour stopover felt like it was really, really comfortable. And to be fair, like, it's been comfortable so far, but tomorrow is going to be the
Test.
The test, inshallah. And today we got to see, subhanAllah, I don't even know what village it was. But
Taiba. Madrasa Taiba.
Madrasa Taiba, yeah. So we went to see a school, which you'd be able to see it on the stories and stuff. But that blew me away, man. We'll go into exactly what we saw, but I think so far, I think it's actually changed me profoundly. I didn't expect it at this age to be this much affected by something like this. But yeah, 100% changed me.
What about yourself, Zach?
Well, I just want to again thank Charity Right, Haris, Sheikh Sajid, having him on here, and Sajid. Charity Right, he is Charity Right anyway, bro. But even having Sheikh Sajid with us is such a gem, such a good companion to have, man. You can't ask for anybody better, bro. Alhamdulillah. And I'm being here with you, bro. I'm just happy you asked, and Allah let us accept it. And even the coming here was, I don't know, exciting and worried, and there's so many things going through your mind. And as soon as you get here, everything just goes. As soon as you hit the first madrasa, you're just there in the moment, and just seeing the kids and seeing the words of Allah just being repeated again and again and again. It's just something special, mashallah, man. So yeah, man, enjoying the journey and hoping for the best for the next couple of days, and inshallah it goes smoothly, and that's it, man.
I think also, bro, definitely what you said about the anxiety stuff, like even the stress of packing, and also just thinking about when I entered that school and I saw those kids, I was like, literally, we have nothing to be.
Yeah.
Even the worries that we had, when you're at home, you got like all these kind of things going through your head, like I'm rent, I just got parking ticket I had to pay just before I left, £160 that I'm, do you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about that, and then obviously saying goodbye to my kids and my wife and my family and everyone, and and then you go to and you see how they're living, and the state of happiness they had. I was like blown away. I learned more than I'm benefiting more than whatever money we're gonna raise for them that they're gonna benefit. If you know what I mean.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So
Yourself, Rashid?
I'm just, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I've always wanted to do something like this, and alhamdulillah, I'm just happy to be here. Like Sheikh Sajid said that we've been chosen. I'm just trying to think like, why am I here? I just want to see, I don't know, inshallah I can do something to benefit the cause, inshallah. But I'm just grateful to everyone for making it possible for me to be here.
So all of the things that, sorry, I know this is your
No,
podcast,
go.
I think I've taken over a little bit.
No, do it.
But
bro.
all of the things, mashallah, that you or we spoke about individually and collectively back in London, what did you think back then, and what do you think now? Because there's only so much we can tell you, and only so much we can describe to you. So whatever we told you, what do you think now? Where are you now? Where is your mindset with what you've seen so far? Let's not go into exactly what you've seen, but the whole journey of leaving London, obviously leaving your families, all our families, and then making that journey. So obviously there was a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of like sort of worries and stuff like that going through your heads. So now that we've gone past that stage, everything we described to you and everything that we said to you at that time, how do you feel about that now?
Like when you're saying don't worry and all that stuff.
Yeah. You got to remember, I can only give you words.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't give you anything more than that.
I think for me it was like I feel silly, bro. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Not silly, but I feel silly that I haven't done it before. That's number one. I feel not embarrassed, but I was like, what was the hang up in the beginning for just and the thing is, I think one thing that and this actually hit me today, bro. And it was before I was feeling a bit anxious on the way. Like I said, we've done the problem. Let's not rehash the past, But if you're tuning, I was very anxious about flying, leaving my family, all that stuff. Not to a level that it was crippling me, but it was. But then I looked on. I went to YouTube and just typed in tawakkul.
Yeah.
And then a talk came up by Yasser Qadi. It was 12 minutes, but one thing that I picked up from it, and he said something very profound. He said, "You can't have iman without tawakkul," and that's what I took away from it. Like you can't say you're a Muslim and have iman and not have tawakkul on Allah. Like Allah is not in control of everything. Yeah. So sometimes anxiety. And this goes to everyone who's listening who may be suffering from anxiety, because we get it a lot, man. Especially in the West, we suffer from a lot, And because we have this illusion of it, this is just from my experience, this illusion that we're in control, bro. Because we live in a controlled environment. Yeah, I say controlled, but buses work on time most of the time. When you go to the cash point, you can take cash out. When you go to buy groceries, you can get it. Everything is at your fingertips. So subhanAllah, like
Water from the tap.
Yeah. So many amenities we take for granted. And then subhanAllah, this gives you more anxiety, bro. That's like when something is out of whack, you start to kind of. So for me, it was like I was wondering, why am I angry? Because I never realized this, yeah. And then subhanAllah, we got here today, for example, this morning, there was no water. We're staying in a hotel that is, considering the surroundings, it's like the Hilton, basically.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, yeah. We came back from the madrasa. Went to make wudu to pray. You were dying for the toilet.
Yeah, there was no water, man.
And this is in a hotel, bro. Where we came from, there was no water, bro.
They had water coming in on a donkey's back.
Yeah. So can you imagine, like in that space of 45 minutes, an hour? That blew my mind. Like they had to wait for that donkey to go. That donkey looked like he was knackered, bro.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
And then they poured out the water. Even me, like when I was there, I had to use the, the
Merhab.
little boy's room. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be a hut or something. The guy goes, here's my key. Dr. Azhari said, here's the car keys. Go find the place. I was like, and he goes, here's the water. So I just started driving.
Did you drive his car? Did he?
You drove to a remote bush.
And I'm thinking, how far do I drive? I'm like, I just kept driving. I just saw some random bush, yeah, and I looked back. I'm like, can they see me from there?
You
In my head, they're Bedouins, innit? They've got good eyesight, mashallah, yeah. Because that's one thing that I remember. Yeah. So can they see me from here, yeah? And then obviously I done what I had to do and washed myself with the water and everything. Got in the van and drove back. But
I was thinking why you took so long.
yeah, I was
Because there was a toilet there.
there wasn't, man.
There was. Yeah, it's open and there's a hole on the floor and it's just covered by bricks.
So why did I think he was having me on, isn't it?
No, he
No.
was just maybe trying to
Oh,
help you out.
Because I told him number one, innit?
Yeah.
So I hope he understood what I meant. He told me to watch out for scorpions, bro. I think he started laughing. So I don't But yeah, so like simple thing like that, like when you take away something as very basic as water, which is not when it's not basic, that's for me, that was, so to go back to the anxiety part of it, when you said, how do I feel before? I feel silly now. I feel stupid. I feel a bit foolish. Yeah, that you worry about things that are not, they are completely at the mercy of Allah and they have complete trust, bro. Like those kids, I don't think one of them had shoes. Do you notice that?
Yeah, slippers.
Were they slippers? Some of them were just walking around barefoot as well.
Yeah.
The imam of the town. Is it a town? Is it
No,
village?
it's a small
Stuff like
village.
a small village. We asked him how many live in this village, bro. That's 120 people, bro.
That's right, yeah.
And we'll get into the story why they moved there and stuff. But yeah, so that's for me. That was something I took away. It was like,
What about yourself, Zach?
To be honest, it just goes to what Sheikh Sajid said today in Musalla. He said, you were picked 50,000 years before the heaven and earth was created by Allah. So as soon as he said that, he just, how can I not take up this opportunity and do what I need to do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said as well, we're not doing it for them. We're doing it for ourselves through them.
Yeah.
Ultimately. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing to be anxious about. And our families and everything is in the protection of Allah. So just that anxiousness and anything you're feeling at that time, it just went. So alhamdulillah, it's
also a sense of responsibility, isn't it?
yeah.
Rashid, were you feeling? I don't think I actually don't remember you actually feeling anxious or anything. I don't remember you saying anything about it. I think you kind of just went with the.
Yeah, because I mean, I think like in my head I was thinking, like it's probably going to be a bit worse than how it is in Bangladesh. So I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh, maybe it's going to be a bit different, or maybe it's going to be similar. So like, I don't know. When we saw it today, I was was just even telling Imran, like, oh, bro, look, even like in some of the poorest places of Bangladesh, we've got access to water.
Yeah.
But I was just looking around, the land was just flat, and there's literally nothing. And then when that donkey came on with the barrel of water and just filled up they had that like plastic container where they just filled up. Even the kids would just come and just like fill it up and just drink, then put it back whatever's left. Like, I was like, oh wow, this is different. I was like, yeah, I mean, like Bangladesh is just full of water, and you're just thinking, oh, it's just basic necessity. And even I just realized like they didn't even have like you know, when we're talking about how to improve the area and stuff like that, and they didn't even have like a well or anything. It's just,
Did you see that trench they put in the floor? What was that for?
That's for dirty water when you do wudu.
Yeah. The other thing is, guys, we never just part and parcel of some conversations that we had prior to obviously coming out here. We never actually showed you any. I didn't sit you guys down and show you any pictures.
No, you didn't, man.
Strategically, we didn't do that because we didn't want you to look at those pictures and think that I've seen it all. You know, we wanted you to see it with your own eyes, see it yourself, because pictures can tell a different story. Because we've taken those pictures at a time when we first came in 2016, And we wanted you to see it for the reality of what it was. And obviously, you're going to see more in the next few days. But just tell me that moment, when you when you were driving to the camp, and then you saw the houses. Let's put the children to one side a second. When you saw the houses, what did you think? Did you have this understanding maybe that they were like proper bricked up houses, proper roofs, maybe some solar panels and some sort of electricity and stuff coming? Is that what you imagined it to be, or did you imagine it to be what it was?
So the thing is, when we came into Khartoum, yeah. So you can imagine, like, obviously, I'm talking from my experience. There's only 2 airports that I've seen so far. Yeah, Heathrow Airport and Dubai International. Yeah, and then the next stop was Khartoum. Now, I'm not saying it was like third world country, but it's a stark difference from Dubai, right? And the thing that I noticed that the people were very civil, and there's not very there's a lot of amenities there. And then when we came out of the airport, that's another barrier that was lifted from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then it looked a little bit like Algeria. I've been to Algeria. It looked very similar. Yeah. Then we got to the hotel. Hotel, mashallah, is decent. Then when we got in the van today to go out, and we started we were talking. Remember, we were talking in the van, and slowly you start to see the landscape change.
Starts to get bumpy.
Starts getting bumpy, and then it's like arid land, isn't it? A bit like desert. And then you just see. Then he took a right off road, and he was just. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way there's people living here. Well, like that in my head.
Because you couldn't see nothing.
You can't see anything. You can't see anything. Yeah, it's just think of it like the westerns. Like, just to give you a bit of a visual, it's like those tumbleweeds in westerns. Yeah. Like, it's everywhere, and there was some camels, really malnourished. Well, I wouldn't know if they were malnourished, to be honest with you. We're gonna make the same mistake as. But there were some camels like kind of grazing and whatnot. Yeah. And then I say grazing, there wasn't much vegetation. And then when we pulled up, and then I saw the school. You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember the film The Message?
Yeah.
When they were building the masjid, when they were. Yeah. There's that scene. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of when, again, obviously it's a film, but when there was the scene when they're waiting for Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they're all waiting at the thing of Medina. But the way the huts were made, mud, and it was like that. And I was like, I don't know, subhanAllah, you don't expect people to actually be living there. You see, like you said, when you see in the picture, they're just characters, in the photo. But they were. It sounds terrible, yeah, but they were living, breathing human beings. It's like, subhanAllah, because you're so far away from where
their reality.
Their reality. And then, wallah, you know what it was? When the Sheikh was speaking, and I want you guys at home to really, really understand this, yeah? There was a dignity about it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's not, I don't know about you guys, but I felt embarrassed to be in their presence, wearing what I was wearing. Do you see what I'm saying? Me with my shoes, taking them off, all like inflamed knees from walking around and not be able to squat properly because we've been sitting in the van for 45 minutes.
They're on the floor.
And do you see what I'm saying? Like, and they're there just smiling, they're just chill, they're just relaxed, smiling. So I saw the kids, one of them pinching the other one, and do you see what I'm saying? And then when the Quran was when they started reciting the Quran, they all stayed quiet, and then how earnest they were in what they were doing. And I couldn't hold, wallahi, it took everything inside me not to shed a tear, because I was so embarrassed at the state we are in the West. Honestly, bro, like, we are so ungrateful. Even I just looked at my own children, and if you're probably gonna be watching this, the love they had for the Quran, and we have to fight ourselves first. and push our kids to.
Did you notice the way the sheikh was standing each child up and making them recite Quran, just telling the beginning what to recite,
yeah.
Even
and whether it
poems,
was a
bro.
hadith,
Yeah.
whether it was a
Poems, hadith,
poem,
Yes.
whether it was Quran.
Honestly,
they
wallahi,
recited.
it was inside. I was in. I don't want to use negative terms, but I'm just telling you real. Like that's how I felt, man. I felt like you can't be looking at me and thinking, oh, this guy. Do you see what I'm saying to you? I don't want them to look at us and think, oh, these guys are from Europe.
Remind the viewers about the schedule that they have. How do they start it?
I don't know if I can remember everything. Rashid,
They-
do you remember?
Yeah, they from
3 in the morning.
3 in the morning they wake up, they go inside
So
the
no,
masjid.
well, 1 second, bro. So finish it.
Yeah, 3 a.m. they go inside the masjid. Then the
But
sheikh
remember, he said
recites.
there's no light. So
Yeah,
this is
there's no
another thing
lights.
as well.
Yeah.
0 electricity. So again, that's another thing we take for granted. Yeah, go to the masjid. Yeah, read the Quran. There's no light, and it's not a phone. There's no backlight. They're reading for. It's like a piece of wood.
Mm.
So I couldn't understand how they were writing.
Probably a fireplace.
But he would recite, and they would write on the.
Yeah, they would have small lanterns.
So they'd have something
Yeah,
to
they'd
see.
have some
Yeah,
lanterns.
okay,
yeah.
right.
And gone. So 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so
they'll come?
3 a.m. until Fajr time, the sheikh will recite and then they'll write it down
Where?
on the lawh, piece of wood.
Yeah.
And then after Fajr until Dhuhr, I think the sheikh corrects what they've done,
That's right. Yeah.
and then from Dhuhr to Asr is siesta time,
Yeah. Sleep. Yeah.
and then Asr until Isha time, they are memorizing,
yeah.
and
new subject.
and then they again 3 a.m. the next morning.
I thought it was once a week.
No, it's
They do
every
this
day.
every single day, bro.
Yeah.
Every day. And I have to dust off my Quran or pick which Quran I have to read
And by
from
the way,
at
they don't
home.
even have enough masah, like
Yeah.
Qur'ans to read from. But the thing is, for me, it's the pride they had in it.
Yeah.
The
And-
pride.
And
like,
them correcting each other, bro.
yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Correcting each other, bro.
You see some of the little kids when they're
Yeah.
reciting and they make a very slight mistake.
Yeah.
There's kids their age and probably younger correcting them on,
Yeah.
you know.
And also,
I don't know if you know, you see the senior student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see
The
like,
one
he's
in
like
the beginning.
the one that-
he's 17, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
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 You see he's going to become a leader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mashallah.
Teaches you standing. He's not saying it. And then the senior
And
student
even,
corrects.
subhanAllah, the Imam, or the Sheikh, the message he gave, bruv,
Yeah.
he had such, he didn't ask for anything. He said, you can see, he said to us, you can see what we need. He didn't say, we need this.
Yeah, he didn't
He goes,
say
look
this.
around, you can see what we need. SubhanAllah, he didn't want to ask, I want this, and this.
He actually said that that Allah's given him everything.
Yeah.
Allah's given him everything, and the fact that they're able to teach the Quran and the children be able to learn the Quran, for him that was enough. And you're right, he did say that, look, you guys can see everything that is needed, but he never once from his mouth said, I need a new roof, or I need new carpet, or I need this or this. He never said any of that stuff.
And what hits your heart as well is they chose
Oh, that,
to live in that area,
Yeah.
to get away from fitna, bro.
so I asked Dr.
Azhar.
Azhari.
Azhari, so why are they living here? Because, see, the Khartoum's about, what, 45 minutes away?
Yeah, probably.
An hour 45. There's actually a little a town nearby, right? Where, where people, I think there's a.
They work, their families work.
Is it a town? The people don't live there, do they?
No. It's just
It's more of like a marketplace.
marketplace, yeah.
But he said that a lot, which we did see that the women dress. When I say inappropriately, it's not inappropriately compared to Western standards, you know. But they were a bit more, less Islamically dressed in their eyes, right? So they didn't want their children to grow up right. So they left that area for the sake of Allah, to kind of to preserve their Islam, bro. That blew me away. I had to ask him again, by the way. I had to ask him 2 things. I said, because I thought it was, maybe I missed something, because you said it in Arabic first, and I thought my Arabic's, you know,
Yeah.
Not, I mean, it's okay, but. And then he repeated it in English as well. I was like, it blew me away, man.
Did you notice also the fact that the girls and the boys were separate,
Separate,
Yeah.
yeah.
even though the age, you see the age of the
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
they were very young,
yeah.
but still they've got them separate away from the boys. And mashallah, you know, the sisters, obviously the ones that are baligh, they're all wearing full hijab and niqab, and the younger ones are all wearing scarves, but again they still are not mixing with any of the boys. And this was another thing that one of the brothers said there. He said, yeah, from a young age they teach them this.
Boundaries.
They teach these boundaries. They don't let them mix like this. But now that you've seen it for yourself, obviously, we came outside with the children. Alhamdulillah, we had a bit of a little bit of fun and
I
played
thought
some-
you really let yourself loose with them, mashallah.
yeah, you have to.
That's like you asked me how we felt, how we were going in, yeah, and I didn't know what to do. And then as soon as I saw you and Harris get into this, just you were a different person. Like, playing with the kids and do this and making funny faces and this and that. And I was like, part of me was like, am I, like, because I know you and you're not doing this just for show for the kids or whatnot. And I didn't want to be the one to be like, am I really like this, bro?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like
Like
I
you're
don't-
putting it on or
I'm
something.
putting it on or whatnot. Because I know these two are not putting it on.
Yeah.
Because I know them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I just felt
I
weird.
just-
and then I just
I-
kind of slowly let go, slowly.
and then you start getting involved.
Yeah. Let's just start copying what you did, bro.
Yeah. But to be honest with you, look, the kids, mashallah, they are going through some sort of a curriculum to obviously learn the Quran. So we just want to be able to show them that, you know, we've come here to see them for the sake of Allah, but most importantly, we want to benefit them. But we also, what we don't want to do is we don't want to be kind of guys that are just coming in and honing in on them. We want to show them we're like them. You know, they're our brothers, they're our sisters, and we will take care of them, whether that be out of, you know, helping them financially or you know, with the buildings they're in or whatever, but also with happiness. They should be happy to see us, and we should be, you know, happy to see them. This is the reason why, you know, myself and Harris, we took them outside. We did a bit of, you know, running with them, and, you know, brother Imad put the drone up. We, you know, tried to catch the drone with them. All these kind of things is just to show them a little bit of happiness. And one of the things Muntazir said to me when we was coming back just now, he just said to me, he said, well, the Sheikh called Dr. Azhari, and he said to him that, you know, when you guys came, he said he was so happy to see us. But most importantly, when we were playing with the kids outside afterwards, the kids were still talking about it.
SubhanAllah.
You know, that is, you know, that's so beautiful that he was saying that they were still talking about, those men, those guys, they came and they were playing with us outside. And this is what I was saying to you, you know, that you can enlighten their hearts by just being part of what they're doing. You know, sit with them, you know, mingle with them, you know, just talk to them, just, you know, even just to, you know, rub your hands, like the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ over the orphan's head. You know, it has great virtues, and this is something that I think, alhamdulillah, everyone got involved in and did. And I think that there is many more things that we can do, inshallah, and this is part and parcel of the reason why we're doing this podcast, is to show people that we didn't raise money from the UK just because we wanted to come out and visit people. We raised money from the UK so that we can come out and really benefit the people and benefit these children in any way, shape, or form. And there's things, inshallah, that we're gonna do, or we're gonna propose maybe on a later on a little bit. We can propose where people could get involved, and you could just see for yourself. Now, remember we used to say to you guys, £13, you know, feeds a child for the entire month. Can you see now?
Yeah.
They don't need a lot. They don't really need a lot.
And the food is based on the doctor's nutrition advice as well.
Exactly. And we're also getting now, we're posting videos, we're posting pictures, and we're getting people from, you know, the donors from back home who are now asking, what do they need? Do they need carpet? Do they need this? Do they need that? And they're asking us those questions because now you've seen it for yourself and you're relaying back those messages. So it was very important for you all to come out and see this for yourselves. You know, it's crucial that you see it for yourself. It's not just about, you know, look, I've asked you guys, and alhamdulillah, you guys have always been very generous and always helped in charity, right? And the food program. But now you've seen it for yourself. You guys are going to be the ones that are going to have to ask, you know, and ask for the same help. But guys, listen, remember one thing very important. You all look very sad now. You shouldn't be sad because there's no doom and gloom. Alhamdulillah, we're gonna go back. Inshallah, we got a few more days to go, you know, to still see a lot more of the places in Kassala. We're gonna be going out to Kassala tomorrow, inshallah. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go to some of the camps there, and you'll see a lot more. And you know, it's gonna be a lot more overwhelming for you all, for all of us. But remember, the reason you came here, your intentions don't change. The reason you came here, and I remember when I first came out in 2016, I just wanted to be the eyes and the ears and the mouthpiece for these children. That's all I wanted to be. And I remember, and I tell my family this as well. You know, Muhammad always says that when I speak about charity, right, you know, I get very serious. He always says this about me, and I genuinely, passionately, myself and Harris, you know, he's here, but he doesn't want to come on camera right now. But we passionately believe in charity, right, and what it's doing. We passionately believe in that. Hence the reason why we want you guys to also not just wear the t-shirt. You know, it's not just about wearing the t-shirt no more. It's about talking the talk and walking the walk. You see what I'm saying, Rashid? Yeah. And you know, even someone like Rashid, mashallah, you know, it's just like a running joke at the moment. Like he's on his phone 24/7, and he's not messaging home. He's actually putting pictures and his videos, and he's uploading his stuff on Instagram and on his social media. He's uploading, and we both know we're not.
He's learning Instagram
Yeah,
as
we're
well.
not the best at it as well. Yeah, we're not the best at. We've got our teachers, Imran, and we've got our teachers, Harris. They're our teachers. They're teaching us, but we're doing what we can.
Yeah.
We're doing what we can. But I would also, you know, from myself personally, everyone who watches this, I would, you know, appreciate if everyone could get involved some way or another. Ramadan's around the corner. You know, we've all got our targets, but this is not target-led thing. You know, I don't think we should focus and hone in on the targets. What we should do is just think that for every child we feed, that's one that's going to come out of that cycle of poverty. That's one that's going to come out.
It's not doom and gloom.
It's not doom and gloom. And inshallah, we will go back. You know, if Allah accepts it from us, we'll work hard. We'll work hard. Ramadan's around the corner, like we said. We'll work hard, inshallah, and show people the true reality of these people. Look, there is many other problems out there in the world. We're not saying there isn't. There's the earthquake in Turkey, the issues in Syria. There's loads of problems out there. You know, they are dealt with by other charities, alhamdulillah. But the cause that we're working with is to feed these children and to give them education.
You know what comes to mind, bro? I've been thinking about it. I heard a story a long time ago, about Imam Shafi'i. I think it's Imam Shafi'i or Imam Abu Hanifa, Allahu Alam. I can't remember which famous Imam. He was traveling and he came to, it was getting dark. And excuse me if I'm fudging the details because I can't remember exactly word for word yet, but he went to the masjid and he asked to stay overnight, and the caretaker would not let him stay. So he sat in the courtyard of the masjid, and he goes, no, for some reason that caretaker had it in for him. So he dragged him onto the street by his leg or something like that. And a man was walking past, and he said, come to my house. I don't know if I can get through this, bro. You guys know the story?
Vaguely, yeah.
It was a baker, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember it properly.
Sorry.
Rashid, what have you got? Rashid, sorry. What have you got to
One second,
go
let me
back
finish
to?
it, let me
Oh,
finish
you
it,
wanna
let me
fin-
finish
I'll
it,
just
let me
saying, let you get your...
No, let me finish it.
your
Yeah. So
bearings
anyway, took him to his house, and he slept in his house, and the guy was making bread all night. Anyway, and he asked him. He said, I can't remember the exact detail, but there was something special about the guy. So the Imam asked him. He said, "There's something special about you. What is it?" So he said, "SubhanAllah, when I make a du'a, you know, it always comes true except one." And huh? Doing dhikr, yeah. That's what. Say it again.
What do you find from doing this dhikr?
Yes, what do you find from doing this dhikr? And he said that my dua gets accepted.
Every dua made.
Yeah. Except one, isn't it? And I haven't met Imam Shafi.
The baker was saying this, yeah?
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
And the reason why it's important here. Just give me a sec here.
Also context behind the story as well.
Yeah.
Those times, now that you have imams that know because of social media. And then
Yeah.
the big imams, no one knew about them.
Yeah.
So very caretaker, the imam, scholar. He doesn't know who he is.
So
But look at this. Yeah, I'll let you continue.
anyway, so basically I was thinking I was dragged from my house. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this in, bro, but I was thinking, what dua was those kids making? Well, that's what was going through my head.
Look, there's not a lot they're going to give back to you, the children, because they can't. But one thing they definitely will is they'll make dua for you, and not just dua for you, but dua for your family, your loved ones, your siblings, your children, and anyone connected to you. Yeah. Just imagine every single donor, and I always say this: they may never see these children apart from in those pictures or in the videos that Brother Imad and the brothers take. But truthfully, you saw it with your own eyes. These kids will make dua for you. And if one of those kids' du'as is the difference between you entering Jannah and not entering the hellfire, is that not enough? Is that not enough? It's more than enough. That's why we ask Allah to accept everything from us and keep our intentions sincere. Right. Not ever for us to waver on this, because this is not about viewership and clout. This is a bigger picture here.
Sorry, I got overwhelmed a little bit, man. But that's what I was thinking. But when I see those kids, I was like, who knows what the dua they made? Like, not like they asked for help, and I'm not saying it's through me or anything, but you think, subhanAllah, that dua they made, who knows what duas they were making at night, and maybe they didn't have anything to eat and they made that dua. And then we got dragged, literally, I know I got dragged here. Like, I was making every excuse, astaghfirullah, in my head. Like, how can I not do this? I'll raise the money, no problem. And I'm not a fan of crying on camera and stuff, but this is weird. Wallahi, I've never, but I was touched. That literally today is when it hit me. I was like, and we haven't even started the journey properly. Yeah. But the thing for me is how far we've strayed, not them. That's the like what Sheikh Sajid said yesterday, but the compass. Calibration. We're just out of sync completely. And the thing is, we left, like what you said, that killed me as well. We said when we left, they were still talking about it.
It's like cousins when they come sleep over and then you're just talking at night. Oh, do you remember we did this? And do you remember we did that? That's the image that is in your head.
And it was, what did we do? SubhanAllah, like, but I think for them is the fact that maybe I was speaking to Brother Mahmoud. So he was one of the, what would you call his job, runner, or he does a lot of stuff, mashallah.
No, he's Dr. Azali's right-hand man.
Right-hand man, right, mashallah. So I was speaking to him as well, and I was just saying to him, look, we in the West, we have a lot of love for you guys. And we feel like we are short-handing. We're not doing enough. And his face lit up, subhanAllah. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to overhype this thing. This is wallah, this is something. Look, I'm someone just like you guys who've family, house, job, you know. But to be put in an environment like this, to see what you have, just thanking Allah what you've already got. If you didn't receive anything else apart from what you have now, they could never, they can't even, if you sat down and you explain to them what you do on a daily basis, think about it, bro. Just the entertainment alone that we have, they couldn't even imagine it. They didn't have no TV there, or they didn't even have electricity. They couldn't even charge their phone. If they had a phone, they couldn't even charge their phone. So
it goes back to what you said when you're on Instagram and there's an advert for Boohoo Man, or and the next one is a child starving, and the next one is
so
it doesn't hit you as much. But when you're here and you see it, it shakes your heart a bit. And then you know that when you go home, it's gonna be stuck with you for the rest of your life, because as soon as you close your eyes, you're there, and you can't explain that feeling to someone else.
I don't think I could forget this, bro. Impossible, bro. And the thing is, what's gonna be annoying now, going back and trying to raise this money. And my thing is, how am I gonna deal with someone who's gonna say to me, "I can't."
Remember what I told you?
Bruv, I just can't.
Remember what I told you?
Yeah.
That there is no I can't no more. Now when you ask, you're gonna ask with that same conviction. The same conviction that you saw here. You're gonna ask with that. And when someone sees that in you, they will want to help you and they'll want to give it to you. It's that same conviction.
And it's not even, they're not even asking, subhanAllah, they're not even asking for air conditioning in the masjid, bro. Like back home. Oh, air conditioning is broke down. Wudu, we need a new wudu place. There's nothing wrong with the old one. These guys don't have any wudu facilities.
That puddle was a wudu facility, bro.
And the thing is, if every masjid in the UK stopped funding for the next 5 years and just maintain what they have, and whatever they raised, they sent it back and built a masjid here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, sometimes you come across a bit holier than thou. Wallahi, this is not what it is. It's actually when you see something with your own eyes and you think, like even my kid, who said it to me? I think it's Ali. Because before I left here, he goes to me, listen, I'm going to give you some advice. Yeah. He goes, don't be harsh on your kids when you come back. He goes, you're going to see things. He goes, don't come back and take it out on your kids, in a sense of like deprive them from things and, you know.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like, I'm not going to do that, but you have this thing inside you, right? Like, and I can see why, where you got your drive from, Raf.
I think the main thing I'm going to change in my life is love for the Quran, bro.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even towards my own kids, bro. Just, I'm tired, I don't want to read it today. No, there's no tired, I don't want to read it today. There's, do it now. You're going to do it with me, I'm going to do it with you. We're going to be learning together. Because seeing them the way they were reciting Quran, flawless, it made me ashamed that I have a mushaf, I have time, I have so many teachers that can teach me. My own mom can teach me. And what am I doing? Wasting time. So that's the main thing I'm going to take from me, inshallah.
All right, guys, I think I did kind of take over the show from Muhammad, Saqallah Khair, for letting me do
your
that.
show, Habibi, don't worry.
But I think there's going to be a few more, inshallah, a few more podcasts that will come out.
You're going to cut that barling bit out, yeah? Oh, listen, you can't use this against me, do you understand? I'm joking.
There is a few more that we're going to do, inshallah. So I think we'll wrap it up here. It's been quite overwhelming today.
It was.
And there's a lot more to come.
But before I don't know, I just feel like I need to get off my chest.
Oh my days.
Wow.
No, it's just like, how you say, like, oh, you have to see with your own eyes. Like, it doesn't matter how many pictures we take. Like, you say like, oh, just on the phone, trying to do Instagram posts and stuff like that. It's like, I was just looking around, like, oh, you know, what picture should I take? Oh, like, oh, mashallah, Imran and Harris, like, oh, that's a good picture, that's a good picture. Then I was thinking, like, you know, like everything used to be like, oh, man, it's like the picture doesn't do justice.
Yeah.
The pictures look good, like, oh, we were talking about the detail, like, oh, that's so good. But then, like, you know, just on our journey there, we were like, thinking, oh my God, there's so much rubbish. Then I'll be like, oh, there's literally piles and piles of rubbish. Then I'll be like, oh, where's that guy going? It's like in the middle of the desert, just walking. And then I see another shepherd, he's literally feeding his goats rubbish. And then when we got there, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like, kind of used to this, kind of used to seeing poor people. Kind of like, you know, I've been amongst them like when I was growing up and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, you know, this is different. It's like, I was like, at least like, I'm going to say Bangladesh a lot because that's what I can relate to. It's like, I can, even if the poor people, they'll be like, oh, you know what, there's a pond that I can catch a fish, or there's a mango tree, I can eat that, or there's some, I don't know, someone will give rice and stuff like that. But these guys were literally, I don't know, you might be able to see it from the drone footage, it's like,
Remote.
but it's only 45 minutes away from the capital, but there's nothing. Like, I mean, I was thinking like if they needed something, it's just like, there's literally nowhere to go. And then like, when you guys went out and you were playing with the kids and stuff, I was talking to you, well, with my broken Arabic. I was speaking to, his name was Mohammed, and I was just like, oh, like, you know, I'll be like, oh, you must be a Hafiz. And he goes, yes. And then I goes like, you know, what do you want to do? Like, he goes, oh yeah, I want to go visit and work. I go, what do you go? Oh yeah, just do work somewhere there. And then the brothers brought the food in for the kids and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's like they were just all like everyone just sitting around the place and they're all sharing food. And I was like, oh, it's like, so basically I was like, oh my God, if Charity Wright wasn't here, they would have nothing. I mean, just like there was a few, like, how many people were there? 120. Majority of them kids, few elderly, and maybe 20 men that I could see that could possibly go out, work and bring food home. And then the doctor was saying, yeah, because I asked him, like, he said he works, but like, what does he do? He goes, oh yeah, maybe they work in a farm and they bring some stuff home. I was like, oh, God, if he doesn't have any work, it's like, well, literally they'll have nothing amongst 120 people, majority of them are kids.
And women.
And women. It's like, yeah, just that. What was it? £3 a day is feeding a child for 3 meals a day, and like mashallah, like the sheikh said, the kids look healthy. And in my head, I was thinking like, just like from a work point of view and stuff like that, I was like, alhamdulillah, they all look like quite healthy.
Well, what you said about if Charity Wright wasn't there, it's like subhanAllah, no, it is. Allah will replace it with something else. Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah. Do you get me? Like,
and
like
you want to be that replacement.
That's it. It's just it was allowed to Allah allowed this to happen. Well, like, when you see it, it's, I don't know if you guys, it's very difficult to explain to you the experience we've had. And everyone's obviously had a similar or maybe different experiences. Everyone's got their own life story that they've been through. But for me, it's the trust in Allah they had. They didn't care where it could have been anyone that came up that day, today, right?
Yeah.
Could have been anyone.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? It's like, you know, after I was asking you guys, oh, how you feeling and stuff like that, I was like, oh, he said, oh, wow, this must be really bad. Like, it's only a little way from the city. And he goes, oh, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Well, look, if we could take anything from this, Rashid, mashallah, he doesn't really say anything to anyone. And mashallah, he's got a lot to say about this. And to be honest, if it meant that we've achieved something today, that one thing we've achieved is, mashallah, Rashid is very passionate about what he's seen.
If Rashid can get passionate about it,
then
he's passionate. Stuff for us, not.
He's passionate,
he can show,
but he doesn't. He's very quiet, mashallah. Yeah. It's just his character.
If you knew him, you'd know that this was weird. And for him to say, "Wait, let me have got something to say."
Yeah, bro.
You know what?
That's strange. Bro.
I know I won't be able to sleep.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I'll be like, if I just didn't say, like, because mashallah, you guys, like the things you mentioned, everything is amazing. But I was just like, just like, because pictures just don't do justice.
Ah,
I mean, even your imagination, it won't. It's just like you say, you can only see it from your eyes and your own experience.
But also, I want you to also understand. So I know we want to wrap up quickly because we have to wake up early tomorrow and fly to Kassala. But I don't want you to think this is us pleading for you to give money. If you want to give money or don't give money, I don't care.
If you don't, Allah will replace you with someone else that's
So
going to give
the
it.
money's going to get raised with or without you. If you're watching this, yeah, we're going to be doing, inshallah, the best we can to raise this money. And I feel that not that I'm doing something good on it, inshallah, because was it actions about my intentions?
Yeah.
You don't know my intentions inside. I know my intentions, and Allah knows my intentions, and everyone here. But if from what we saw today, and from the discussions that we've had with the people that organize things around here, £10,000 is literally like giving someone £1 million here. Like £1 is something that, so when, like you said, when we're going to go ask for money, I'm not going to feel any way about anything. Even before, like I had this, but you're right, when you see it, subhanAllah, it's something else. And and it's not a holiday camp for us. It's not something that, like you said, we were literally dragged here. And I didn't know that you organized this trip before in January.
Yeah. So we did have this trip organized in January. Me, Harish, Sheikh Sajid were going, and we had another group of brothers that were coming. And it's just by the qadr of Allah that things happened, and things got changed around a little bit. Some of them dropped out. I got a little bit busy, so I dropped out. And then we just kind of postponed it a little bit. When we went back, me and Harris went back to those same guys again. They said that they couldn't make it for that time, even though they said they wanted to go at this period. But then they said they couldn't make it. So me and Harris were just kind of like pondering upon who and when, and then we spoke about you guys, and then obviously we spoke about you guys coming along, inshallah. And then
did Harris actually want me to come, bro?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Because you know he's been treating me really bad on this trip. Just so you guys know, I'm getting bullied.
It's tough love.
He doesn't want to be on camera because he feels guilty. I swear.
I think he loves you the most. That's why he's.
I think that's what it is. It's like
messing
when,
around you the most.
yeah, I think so. I love you too, Habibi. Barakallahu fik. See, there you go. Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that?
What did he say?
Carry on thinking that. Remorseless, man. But it's like he slaps you one hand and gives you something with the other hand, bro. MashaAllah.
So guys, let's wrap it up here, inshallah. We've got a flight tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Muhammad, you can.
No.
You have to end us out. Yeah.
I have to end you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, look, like I said, we wrap it up, inshallah, today. We've got a flight in the next 6 hours, so we need to get some rest. We need to pack up. We need to get some rest and inshallah make our way to Kassala, and then inshallah we'll see the viewers again. We'll see the viewers again in Kassala. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
You got to sign us out, bro. Yes.